All right guys, so today we're gonna check out another new pair of truly wireless earbuds from Anker. The pair we're gonna look at is the brand new Anker Soundcore Life Note. Now the funny thing about these is there's basically no information on these online at all. I just happened to be in Walmart and stumbled across them and saw that they were only 50 bucks. And so it caught me off guard at first because one, there's no info on them, but they're half the price of Anker's other two new truly wireless earbuds, the Liberty Air 2 and the Liberty 2. So I wanted to see how these competed with those and if they are worth the $50. But I did happen to find them on Walmart's website, so there is a link to that in the description. But let's go ahead and check out what's inside the box and what are some of the features. Now, first off, they have Bluetooth 5.0 and they're capable of aptX playback. So for $50, having some of the best Bluetooth quality you're gonna get is really nice. Now, as far as your IPX rating, it is IPX5 water resistant, so you are able to use these out and about or take them to the gym, or if it rains or you sweat heavily, it's completely fine. Just don't drop them in water. Now, inside the box, it includes 5 sets of ear tips. Now this is important because on the box it labels these as passive noise canceling, which basically just means the design of the earbuds are trying to block out sound. There's no technology in these that's trying to do any of that, so having the right seal with the right ear tips is really important. On top of that, the charging cable is even USB-C. Now speaking of the charging cable, the battery life on these, you're getting around 7 hours on the earbuds. I got closer to 6 to 6.5, where with the case, you're gonna get around 40 hours total. Now, if you do happen to pick them up and they're dead, it does have a fast charge feature where 10-minute charge will give you an hour's worth of use. So far, all of the features is really impressive considering the price. Now, moving on to the case is a matte white finish. Now, I only see these in white. I don't know if they're available in any other colors, but the finish that's on this is going to get dirty easily. It's gonna show marks and scratches like in no time. Now, as far as the indicator light on here, it is a single indicator light. I usually prefer the 3 to 4 dots so you can kind of gauge your battery level that way. But the single light basically tells you you're good or it's dead. And I think there's a whole lot of guessing in that I'm not a huge fan of. So now let's move to the earbuds themselves. Now, as far as your controls, it is an actual physical button instead of the touch controls, which usually is not my first choice, but I was completely surprised that hitting the buttons were very easy and it never felt like I was pushing these into my ear. So I was completely comfortable with using them. Now, as far as your controls, you're able to control everything but the volume, which I am not a huge fan of. Now, they do work with your smart assistant, so you can say, hey, turn the volume up, but that just doesn't work in a lot of situations. And if you're somebody like me, I just don't like controlling my volume that way. Now, if you do like to use just one at a time, you will be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right individually. Now, as far as the microphones on here, they have 2 mics on each earbud. And it also uses their uplink technology, which is basically made to kind of block out a lot of your surrounding noise so people on the other end can hear your voice better. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test of the Anker Soundcore Life Note. I think if you were to take phone calls and that was your main focus, that this would definitely get the job done. And so here is a mic test with me playing the crowd noise in the background so that you can get an idea of what it would sound like if you took a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. Because for $50 and half the price of Anker's other new truly wireless earbuds, I really wasn't expecting that type of quality, but it is using graphene drivers just like those, so I was maybe hoping for similar. And what I got was something that had a completely different sound signature. These are so bass heavy, it's insane. If you're a bass head, this, I can honestly say, is a no-brainer, especially if you like the AirPod style design, because AirPods suck when it comes to bass, and these just destroy them. Now moving over to the mids are really good on these. The male, female vocals, whatever genre you're listening to, always had a very nice presence. As far as the treble goes, that is the one frequency I think needed a little bit more of a boost, especially considering that the bass is so powerful. The treble at times just always felt unbalanced from the bass. Now, if you're listening to music that has a whole lot of stuff going on, this never sounded congested. Now, this is not a very open sounding pair of truly wireless earbuds. You're not going to be able to accurately pinpoint where instruments are coming from, but because of the airy sound, it at least feels like it's just not right here in your face. So an overall sound signature that these have is your bass is up here, your mids are about where they need to be, and then your treble just slightly boosts up. Now, there is definitely a boost in the treble. It's still bright enough, but when comparing them to bass heavy songs, it's always gonna feel like it's trying to catch up a little bit. Now again, this is completely nitpicking the sound considering the price, because I think in the $50 range, this is one of the go-to ones that I would recommend, but it is something you might want to know overall, especially if you might be somebody that wants a little bit more detail in your sound, or if you're not a huge bass head. If you're not a huge bass head, I will go ahead and tell you, stay away from these, because these, whatever they're doing to have that kind of output, there's even rumble in the low end that I didn't even think like this style was capable of. But if you're a bass head, this is a definite buy, especially if you're not wanting to drop a whole lot of money on a pair of truly wireless earbuds. As far as cons go, the case needs to be a different material, because I don't think it'll take hardly any time at all before this is rainbow colored or just has all kind of marks all over it. And the other two complaints is I think there needs to be a boost in the volume. I always felt like maybe another notch or two would have been nice. And then the treble needed to be boosted a little bit more. But outside of that, I think Anker created something really nice in the $50 range, especially with the holidays coming up, makes this a very good buy if you're not wanting to sink a lot of money into a pair of earbuds. But guys, that's my review of the brand new Anker Soundcore Life Note. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.